Hi friends, and here we go again with another episode of Hear Yourself. This time is about grid ceilings, also known as suspended ceilings. The defining document is EN 13964, the European standard that was first published in 2004 and later revised in 2014. At Anutone, we have made EN 13964 as the basis of all the grid ceiling solutions that we offer. There are 7 sections and 14 annexures. This would make for a long video and hence we have divided it into 3 parts. The previous episode was part 1 and now this episode is part 2, which is section 4 with 10 subsections. 4.2 is about material dimensions. A lot of useful info is given via table 1 to 5 for the grid components. Important to note is the bow, camber and twist of the substructure, which is the grid ceiling suspension system, skeleton in the case of Anutone. It's obvious that the bow, camber and twist has to be within the specified tolerances. 4.3 is about mechanical resistance and stability, and there are 6 concerns. First is about load bearing performance, and the deflection should be within specified limits. Second is about suspension components and fasteners, the hardware, to ensure a fail-safe installation. Third is about perimeter trim and the top fixing to the roof, the junction points between the grid ceiling and the building elements to ensure a fail-safe installation again. Fourth is about wind load resistance. Under the interior wind load conditions of maybe open windows or the jet nozzles of HVAC system, the ceiling and its membrane must maintain stability and integrity. Fifth is about impact resistance. For example, a sports hall where ball throwing is prevalent, the impact resistance of the ceiling has to be determined as per Annexure D. Sixth is about seismic resistance. Suspended ceiling should be so engineered such that vertical and horizontal movements during a seismic event does not impact the ceiling. The next section is 4.4, safety in case of fire. Friends, nothing is fireproof even if somebody mentions it as non-combustible. A raging inferno never discriminates. It's just that a fire-rated ceiling is retardant and does not help the spread of fire. And so this gives much more time to the occupants to evacuate the building. There are 2 parts to this section: fire resistance and reaction to fire. Fire resistance, the suspended ceiling must be tested as a system and not just the components. Sometimes the grid ceiling needs to be tested with the roof assembly as a building element. Reaction to fire, this is based on component level testing where the items are sold separately and integrated by side by the contractor. The ceiling tile itself may be tested with or without any overlay, either from the exposed side or the plenum side or both sides as per the project requirements. Next is 4.5, hygiene, health and environment, where there are 3 concerns. First is about asbestos. It should be nil, where it is banned across the world, and Anutone products never had asbestos. Next is about formaldehyde emissions, and products are classified E1 as in low emissions or E2 as in higher emissions. Anutone products have always been E1. Third is about other dangerous substances. 4.6 is about safety in use, and again there are 3 major concerns. First is about shatter properties. The membrane components, as in the ceiling tile or panels, if being fragile, then the shatter properties should need to be known. Second is about flexural tensile strength. Again, this relates to the membrane components like ceiling tiles and panels being able to sit in grids within the self-weight. Third is about electrical concerns. The metal grids must be earthed or isolated if there is a chance of electrical leakage. 4.7 is about acoustics, and there are 2 major concerns. First is about sound absorption and reporting the NRC as per ISO 354. Second is about sound insulation or noise isolation as we call it. Reduction in the vertical and the horizontal transmission of noise tested as per ISO 140 part 3. 4.8 is about durability, and there are 5 major considerations. First is about dampness. The suspended ceiling system should be so designed that condensation does not occur. In case momentary dampness does occur, the ceiling must not show any damage on drying. Metal framing should be subject to salt spray test to determine corrosion resistance. Second is about service life requirements. Grid ceiling must retain performance properties during the service life when exposed to normal occupancy conditions, subject to receiving periodic maintenance with no ill treatment. Third is about the classification of ceiling exposure conditions. There are 4 classes of exposure A to D as per table 7. A being normal occupancy conditions of up to 25 degrees centigrade and RH 70. B is higher up to 30 degrees centigrade and RH 90. C is about more than RH 90 and the risk of condensation. D is more severe than the above A to C. Fourth is about corrosion protection or rust proofing. As per table 8, which is linked to the previous table 7, different atmospheric conditions require the components made of metal to be suitably treated. Fifth is about contact corrosion. Is about prevention of corrosion between the suspension system and dissimilar materials. 4.9 is about the color, light reflectance and the gloss factor. And again there are 3 major concerns. First is the measurement method of the color composition as per ISO 7724. Second is the measurement method for light reflectance, again as per standard 7724. Third is about the measurement method of the gloss factor as per ISO 2813. 4.10 talks about thermal insulation, where there is risk of condensation under a cold roof or plenum. This is to be avoided with adequate insulation or ventilation. Similarly, for very hot metal roofs, where plenum may be subject to intense heat that can warp and sag the ceiling tiles, there is the need for insulation or ventilation. Friends, you want the lowest cost ceilings? Well, not from Anutone, and now you know why. We cannot help being set, scientific, engineering, technical in our approach to grid ceilings. It does add some money, but more importantly, this kind of a fail-safe approach adds considerable value to your projects. Friends, if you share our passion for perfection, you are sure to appreciate this episode. I can assure you, if the current international standards are made the basis of all work, you just cannot go wrong. Hence this knowledge episode of EN 13964 for grid ceilings or suspended ceilings. So we are done with part 2 and the next episode will be the final part, part 3. Hope you like this episode and do let us know what you think on social media or on our website anutone.com. If you missed previous episodes of HearYourself, Anutone's weekly videos, do check them out on our website under the media tab. And to make sure that you do not miss the future episodes, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and do not forget to press the bell icon to receive notifications. Until we meet again, bye bye.